misleading term. You've been out talking to people.
Well, we've spoken to hundreds of constituents and small businesses, healthcare providers, those professionals that are out there administering and delivering healthcare daily. And the consensus is that we do need reform. And the idea of how to get there is as diverse as America.
Yeah, that is going to be the tough part, and that's what we keep hearing about. How are we going to get there? And in fact, you've got some principles that you've pretty much outlined here that are probably pretty universal on either side of the aisle. Really, it's affordable access for everyone. I mean, that's a tall order in itself, isn't it?
Well, it is. But you know, in 2004, our Secretary of Health and Human Services, Tommy Thompson, flew to Iraq with one of many billion-dollar checks in hand to make sure every man, woman, and child in Iraq had universal health care coverage. We have 50 million people in this country that need access.
Right. Okay. And what's a number of other items that we have here as we continue along here this morning? Now, the first one is, of course, health care for everybody. But then again, we've got number 2 here, increased focus on prevention. Help it before you actually get sick, right?
We all need skin in the game, and whether it's healthy lifestyles with diet, exercise, and prevention in terms of screening with mammograms, prostate cancer, those things are going to save money in the long term.
Pre-existing insurance coverage is going to extend, or you would hope, to pre-existing conditions.
I would. This is blatantly discriminatory. It needs to end, and it has been used as a tool to deny and block people from seeing their primary care physician and doctor.
Okay. Number 4, portability, the ability to take your health insurance from job to job. That's a lot of paperwork, no matter what.
Well, certainly we need this for our constituents. If you get a pink slip, your health care effectively ends when you get that pink slip, and you need portability from job to job so there are no disruptions and you can see the doctor who you want.
Physicians' incentives for patients and physicians to work together to determine the best care for the patient. Kind of explain that a little bit.
Well, we certainly need to have choice, and some of these decisions shouldn't be done by bean counters or bureaucrats. They should be best handled between the doctor-patient relationship.
Another huge tall order here, and we've got about 20 seconds. Pay for the healthcare system without raising taxes. Boy, that's a lot of money.
There's enough money in the system. We spend $2.5 trillion every year, and there are nearly $1 trillion in inefficiencies, administrative inefficiencies.
You have a tall order whenever you get back to D.C., that is for sure. But we want to thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Sitting with us here for a little bit this morning.
We appreciate it.
Congressman John Bucherri, thank you very much.